I'm Trevor with Venom Products, and today I'm here to show you how to install a Venom Team Tied clutch on this Polaris 600 XC. This kit will also work for 2005 and older Polaris as well as pre-Diamond Drive Arctic Cat snowmobiles. Before we begin, I want to take a moment and explain to you the advantages of installing a Venom Team Tied clutch on your machine. As you can see on the stock secondary clutch, the sheaves have to rotate relative to each other during upshift and downshift. This produces belt scrubbing as well as elevated temperatures during hard use, both which will shorten the life of your belt. Unlike the stock clutch, the tied clutch's sheaves open parallel to each other, which means the belt does not have to scrub during upshift and downshift, as you see here. This means your machine will be able to hold RPM better under load, as well as lower temperatures under hard use. The first step is to open your clutch cover and remove the belt. To remove the belt, you need to take your movable sheave on your secondary and rotate it clockwise while pushing back to open up the sheave, and then grab the belt and move it over the sheave like so. Next, you will want to take a 1/2-inch ratchet and remove the bolt that holds your secondary clutch on and remove the clutch. Now that we have the secondary clutch removed from the snowmobile, we can begin assembling our new Venom Team Tied clutch. Besides the clutch, you will also need a helix and secondary spring, which you can call our tech department for the right setup for your application. Optionally, you will also need a Venom Products clutch alignment bar, as well as our compression tool. So the first step of assembling your new Team Tied clutch is to slide the clutch over the compression tool post, and then taking your snap ring pliers, remove the snap ring that holds the spider on the post and set it off to the side. Next, you will want to identify the skip tooth in your spline shaft, and using a paint marker, draw a vertical line on the post to help assist you with reassembly of the clutch. To begin reassembly, take your new secondary spring and install it in the clutch, followed by the spider and the snap ring. Next, you will want to take your compression cup and slide it over the post, and lastly, tighten the handle down. When compressing your spring, you're going to want to make sure that you keep the skip tooth on the spider aligned with the line on the post that you have previously drawn for proper alignment. The last step of installing your new spring in your secondary clutch is to reinstall the snap ring. The last step is to tighten down your helix screws with the supplied torque wrench that comes with your kit. A helpful tip before installing your secondary clutch is to take a small amount of grease and apply it to the secondary shaft. This will keep the shaft from rusting to your secondary clutch. Now that you have your new tied secondary assembled, we need to check the alignment of the clutches on your machine. To do this, you will need a Venom clutch alignment tool. The first step in doing this is to take the A and the B side and line them up with the stationary sheave on your secondary so that they are flush. Next, you're going to take the X and the Y side and place it on the primary clutch's post and slide in till you touch the inner sheave of the primary while still remaining flush up against the secondary sheave. As you can see that there is a gap between the bearing on the secondary shaft and the post of the secondary. You will need to add washers to remove this gap. As you can see, I've added 2 washers to the inside, so now when I slide the clutch alignment tool up against the primary, there is no more gap, yet it still remains up against the primary or the inner primary sheath. Now that we have the clutch aligned, you need to adjust the float of the clutch. And by float of the clutch, I mean the backward movement that is allowed so the clutch can align itself. You will need the supplied bolt with your kit, the floater spacer, and the washers that come with your kit. As you can see here, I cannot move back and forth the clutch, so that means there is no float in the clutch right now. What this means is I'm going to need to add more washers to achieve the float of the clutch. After adding a few more washers, you can see that we have reached that 30 thou float that was desired. Now that you've successfully adjusted the float of your clutch, you will want to remove the bolts and washers and set them off to the side for a moment while you install your new key stock that is supplied with the clutch kit. Next, you're going to want to reinstall your floater assembly, making sure that you torque it down to the correct torque spec. After torquing your clutch down, we will want to install the belt. Before you install the belt, make sure that you always check for wear and tear, and that you can always read the lettering on the belt as it's facing you. To install the belt, you will take your clutch removal tool that is supplied with your kit and screw it into one of the 2 tapped holes on the front face of the secondary clutch, which will open up the sheaves, allowing you to slide the belt over. And then you will slowly unscrew the clutch belt removal tool. Once you've installed your belt, you can rotate your secondary clutch counterclockwise until the belt rides above the secondary sheave, and then at last you can reinstall your clutch cover, and that completes the installation. And that completes our installation of the Venom Team Tied clutch on this older Polaris. Don't own a Polaris? Don't worry. We have a tied clutch application for all the major brands and years of sleds. Also, this is a perfect time to replace your primary clutch spring, which we have many to choose from to match your application. As always, call our tech department at 218-844-3283 or by email at tech@venomproducts.com for help finding the correct setup for your application. As always, thanks for watching, and if you've liked this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more great clutching info.